Enjoying ourselves right now as we welcome Charleston Mayor Joe Riley. His last year in office. In the next few months, a new candidate will be elected.
That's right. And of course, the mayor has been in office in Charleston for 40 years, starting in 1975. We are so proud to have him in our studio with us tonight to spend a little bit of time in talking about your busy schedule over the last few weeks, certainly the last few months. And we know that you always have that little pocket square with your agenda. Folks, so if anyone has spent any time with Mayor Riley, they know that he is always looking at that.
Right? My staff is
tells you where to go and when to be there.
That's right. I keep a busy schedule, as I should. I'm working hard for the citizens.
Mayor Riley, today we saw earlier in our newscast that you talked about redesigning that pier that's left from the old bridge. And this really has been a part of your labor of love for Charleston, always making sure that the city is designed in a way that is aesthetically pleasing to us as well as people who come to visit the city.
Well, you know, beauty is something that every citizen appreciates and needs, and we often take that for granted. Well, it really isn't important. It's important to everyone. People know beauty when they see it, and they know when it's not beautiful. So my philosophy has always been, if a citizen can see it, and the city has anything to do with it, then it ought to be something that they feel very good about. So that was a remnant of the Pierman Bridge we kept for historic purposes, and now it'll be beautifully done. But we've got the beautiful new gill yard that we will have the public grand opening on on the 9th of October at 5:30. That's a Friday, and it's open to the public. So invite people to come from 5:30 to 7:30. Just come. We'll have a little speech making at the beginning and formal dedication, and get to go in and it is absolutely gorgeous. And that belongs to every citizen of this community. That's theirs. That wherever you live, whatever you have of your own, that's yours. A beautiful state-of-the-art performing arts facility.
40 years, you've been a part of so many historical moments in the city of Charleston. You're stepping away. I don't know how it's going to be possible without Mayor Joe Riley here. Do you walk away with your head held high about any certain moment or any certain event here in Charleston where you're certainly proud to represent the city?
Well, there's so many things,
yeah.
and Brandon and Carolyn, the citizens make all that possible. Mm-hmm. The way that there's this community in the face of unspeakable horror and tragedy and hate, this community put their arms around that church and those families and responded with love and unity that touched the world. So it's, there's so many things. I feel fortunate to have had the time to serve the citizens of Charleston during a time when they responded to the need to change. We had to make things. We had to restore downtown. We had to strengthen the city. We had to welcome in people of color into the governance of our city and make sure that everybody felt a part of Charleston. Built the waterfront park and the aquarium and the ballpark.
The list does go
so much
on.
more.
And Mayor Riley, we know that our time is short. The producer's telling us that we have to wrap this up, and we really, I think a lot of people would agree, don't know how the city would have fared after the tragic shooting at Emmanuel AME Church. You were such a leader for everyone and provided such comfort. But your legacy, you've told me in other interviews and probably said to Brendan as well, your work is not done until that International African American Museum is
Well, I worked
finished.
on it today. I'll be working on it tomorrow. We're committed, and that will be such a huge source of pride for every citizen of Charleston, our state, and it will be important to our country. We've got the beautiful site on the Cooper River, historic site, world-great architects working, and we owe it to, we have to tell all of our history. And we need to know, all of us need to know the history of Africans who were brought here and how they made this country and where they came from and so much more we were never taught, and right here in the city in a beautiful, historic and memorable place. And of course in that museum there will be an exhibit about Mother Emanuel. First, its role in the history of the development of the African American church, the entity of the church. And then, of course, what the tragedy of what happened here and this community's response and those dear families. They'll be a part of history and so much more. It will be one of the great institutions in our country right here in our city.
Well, Mayor Riley, we'll have an opportunity to say farewell and thank you to you.
Thank
The
you.
public will coming up this weekend. And again, just personally, thank you. And you certainly know about how much I appreciate
Well,
all that
thank
you've
you.
done and personally mentored and just
well,
an amazing
The feeling is
asset to our
mutual.
community. Thank you.
I'm so lucky to have this job.
It's been a great ride.
Thank you.
All
You
right,
bet.
Thank you,
Mary
Mayor.
Jo, thank you very much.